Hi, this is the C flute, and in this section you're going to learn more about the C flute, but I'm also going to introduce you to other members of the flute family. There are other members, the bass flute, the alto flute, and the piccolo. Now, there are some other flutes called the contrabass and the double contrabass flute, but those are not part of this course because they're not quite as common. But you do see the bass flute and you see the alto flute. So I will play them for you. I'll demonstrate their sound so you can hear them. And I'll also play the piccolo, which we all know and love from marching bands. That is a piece called Syrinx by Claude Debussy. It's a very famous piece. But this is the C flute. This instrument you see all over the place. You see it, it's the instrument that you see in bands, in orchestras, playing in jazz bands. You play it in church. You play it for weddings. Welcome to the piccolo. Piccolo is another flute in the family of flutes, and it certainly is our smallest member. The piccolo is played the same way as the flute. If you can play the flute, you can pretty much play a piccolo. So let me give you a gamut of the range. And of course, where do you hear it? Well, marching bands. And it can be heard a lot in marching bands because it cuts through all the drumming and all the brass that you have in marching bands. You have looked at the C flute, which is the normal flute that people are playing. This is another flute in the family, and it is the alto flute. The thing that makes the alto flute a little bit different is that it is larger around this way. We call this the bore size, so it's larger around this way. And of course it is larger in its length. If you want to hear the whole range of the alto flute, let me play that for you. I'll start at a low C. In the general sense of what most flute choirs have or people own, this is as low as it gets. This is called a bass flute. It is rather large. It is a very long flute. It's certainly heavier. They make this curved head joint because, of course, if they straightened the flute out like a C flute, of course, you would not be able to reach it all the way. So they have to curve it around to make it of reasonable length. Let me play you a range here. Let's start down at the very bottom. It's your low C. takes less air than you think. You blow really gently, or else you'll overblow and it will squeak. So if I played any more than just gentle, I have to play very lightly. So it doesn't take a whole lot of air, which is surprising. Most people think it's going to take a lot of air, but it's really less air than you think it's going to take.